Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to be with us in our sixth podcast. Our very, very important topic for today. It's wonderful because we are focused to help where our investors are putting their eyes here in Panama. And we want to help you to understand how to make smart real estate decisions. And our topic today is big, but thanks to be here, ladies, and or this gentleman, Maka, Wendy, and or CEO for our company, Be Luxe Real Estate, Isaac. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you for inviting me.
For sure. Well, we are going to try to introduce and go deep to very, very interesting topic today. Why you have to choose. We have two options usually, or investor have the same question, and we are focused to try to answer you which is the better option when you are thinking to invest in Panama. You could choose between real estate strategies with pre-construction, or it's better to go for a resale option. That's our main topic today, and we are going to be focused to answer you which is the better strategy, which are the better options, why you can choose between one option or the other one, or why maybe could both could be dependent, the situation could be better. Then thank you, Isaac, to be with us today. And well, let's start with the first topic that is very common to see now in Panama, and we run a lot of projects. We're going to talk about the pre-construction. Why it's actually the most popular investment that you could see here in Panama. We have a lot of new construction that you could see in all the city. Why? Can you suggest the people to choose, or which is your opinion about the
Well,
pre-construction?
Panama since 3 years ago is moving a lot. There's coming a lot of new pre-constructions, and I think since 2023 or 22, there is a new generation of projects that is coming to Panama, and you can see when you compare the past development with the new one, you see a completely different structure in the on the design, on the amenities, on the layout. Panama, when you compare with other cities, is like more than Miami, than Latin America, and we have and we have a lot of good products here. People when arrive from other countries that never heard about Panama, they say, "Wow, I cannot imagine that I can find this kind of properties here." So it's very interesting because we have a lot of pre-construction, but of course we have always to understand what is the best for a client, because some clients are not, they don't have the time to wait for a product that could be ready in 3 4 years. But it's important to understand that the market in Panama is very particular. Why? Because products in Panama, when are ready, usually don't appreciate too much. But when
And
you
that is very important
that's very important
if
because
you are an investor.
yeah, depend what do you want for, where is the proposal of your investment or the objectives of your investment, yeah, the strategy. But when you enter in a very beginning phase in the product, and sometimes we have very good private sales, of course we pick up which are
The best
the best, because today everyone want to have private sales, everyone is talking about private sales, but it doesn't mean that are going to be good.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
talking about private sales, and we were talking about this outside. We have pre-constructions,
Yes.
and we do have a lot of private sales. But I think, and maybe you can explain, and we touch private sales in another
In
podcast.
another podcast, yes.
But why not all private sales are the best choice for some clients, and why it can be the best choice or the worst?
Exactly.
It's not a right, correct answer. Why? Um, Private sales is a tool for the developers to sell part of the product and
The inventory.
yeah, part of the inventory and have a more robust um, the financial part of the tower. When you sell this product in a lower price that you are going to launch, you can guarantee that you have a stronger um, product to launch. Why? Because you have the base of the sales. But what happened with the private sale? Every product that you are going to launch could be a private sales. In the past, were not too common, but now they are like trendy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a trend. Everyone have want to are mentioned. We have private sale. The best product is when you enter in the very beginning phase, but actually that's the best, the highest risky moment
Exactly.
because you can enter in the best moment of the tower or not because if they cannot continue selling faster than they think, you could be with your money stopped for years.
Yeah.
And why we are not involved in all the private sales? Because fortunately we have an advantage in the market that we work with the best and the biggest in Panama for one reason. One, their historic in their historical
Yeah.
um,
The developer, the story of the
the
developer.
The
deliveries,
history, yeah.
the history of the deliveries that they have had. Second, the how um, strong are they with the finance.
Yes, the financial structure
Yeah, it's very
for that
strong.
developer
So
is strong.
that's the most important for us to preserve the capital of our investor and grow the capital. So when we select a private sale, it's because we know what is coming to the market. We have not just one developer. We work with the best, and most of them work with us before the product is going to be launched. Sometimes 1 year before, sometimes 6 months before, sometimes 1 month before. And understanding what is coming to the market, we can understand which is the best option for a client. When you know just one, you have to offer that. But when you know that is coming 7, 10 towers in the next month and on or years, you can understand which will be the most successful product when you compare. And that's the reason why 70, 80% of our clients just buy our private sale and they are waiting because they know when we call us, when we call them, it's because it's an important opportunity. And we have demonstrated in the past with different towers. We can talk about Bioma, we can talk about Ipanema, we can talk about Cabarrosa, we can talk about Bosco de Santa Maria and some others. And now we are working in 4 private sales.
Yes.
One of them we sold right now more than 30% of the tower are is not on the market. The other one is around 20% sold out and it's not on the market. We are going to launch in August. We are going to launch in September. We are starting next week. I think one of the most important private sales of the year. A product that I think I'm very um, how could be
You're
Excited.
very proud.
excited. I'm very excited with this product. I think will change part of the area. We are, is in Costa del Este, and
Isaac, about that, about the zones, we are selling some products in the best zone of the more not popular. It's like the most value zone. What
The
you
zones
can
with more appreciation.
exactly what you can tell to our viewers about that? Because right now we are talking about a new one here in Costa del Este. What do you think about the
actually
area?
we are coming with three
Yeah,
more
I
new in
know.
Costa del Este.
Exactly.
That will be really interesting. Um, okay, we don't sell all Panama. We sell some areas in Panama that we think for the kind of investor that we manage are the most attractive. Why? Because are the most modern areas. Actually, we sell at the beaches. That is other kind of client or is other kind of objective of life. But the areas where I think is going to grow more is of course Costa del Este, Santa Maria, and all the east coast of the country because it's where land is available.
Yeah.
Actually, is a new phenomenon could be the word.
And
Yeah.
Phenomenon. that is happening in some areas that in the past were very, very good. And for some reason, the buildings or the area now is a little bit old, but big developers are buying lands to develop all this area, and this area are going
They are
to,
refreshing it.
yeah, and I think will be
now
amazing in the next 3 4 years. Will be areas that will be completely different, like for example Obarrio or Bella Vista. These are areas that are coming. Well, actually we are going to launch a new product in Obarrio.
next
Probably
week, next week.
no, in 2 3 weeks we are starting with a new product that is something very special for the area.
We
uh
receive news here in the podcast.
yeah, that's new, that's new. We have not talked yet about that.
And I want to expand on that
Mhm.
because and we mentioned this I think in our first podcast. Like geographically, the way that Panama City has developed, it needs to be rectangular because in one part you have the canal, then you have more canal, more protected zones, and then you can only develop the city. These developers, like, there's little land in these already developed neighborhoods like Obarrio, Bella Vista, but there were the office banks, like where it's all concentrated. So
Exactly.
yeah, they can go to build other land, and they can buy houses and put
And
it
rebuild
together and
something new.
rebuild their. And I think it's very interesting. I think it's embellishing the city. I think it's making it more walkable.
Yeah. New
Businesses are looking
infrastructure.
prettier. There's this whole project to put the electric lines below the
Yeah.
street, which it's gonna be good for your property. It's gonna be good for the environment, and it's gonna look pretty. So at the end of the day,
And
your investment's
for
gonna go up.
community, for citizens, because the price of our land and the appreciation for many of our investments, as you invest before, could be in a better price thanks to that new constructions, the new advantages that we receive in the city, for example.
Okay, so before we jump to the resale strategy, I'm gonna ask you a question, and each one needs to tell me two things. Like, what should an investor evaluate before buying pre-construction?
For
Monica.
example, the developers.
That's true.
That's
Who's
the
the
most
who's
important
the developer?
Who is, how many years is in Panama, how are their last projects,
not just how many years in Panama, how many towers have developed, because some
Exactly,
developers have
yes.
been for a long period,
and they
but,
don't do
but they
yeah,
they
a lot
develop
of-
one tower, two tower. So continue please.
No, it's of course
It's like explained more.
Exactly. Yeah, your
It's like
turn.
explained more a little minute ago, but you talk about it. You choose for the company when you decide to accept the private sales that we run in the company. You said you choose that developers, no because they are your friends, or just because they are
or nice
popular.
or
Okay.
have a good
Yes.
For us, the most important, I always say, and sometimes we decide with our biggest partner, we decide don't to sell some of their products, and you know very well.
To not continue working with them.
No, we continue working with them, but when there is a product that we think is not the best option for our clients, could be one of the closest partner, but for us the most important is our clients,
It's our clients.
our
for
clients.
sure.
So it's not just the developer. Of course, the developer is important, but also the product. Where is the product? Where is the ticket? Which is the area? Which are the competitors?
Yeah.
Because as we have the product of the different companies or the different developers, so we can understand what is coming, which area are going to grow more, which are the products that maybe are going to be launched in 6 months or in a year that will be much better than this other. Why we are going to put the money of our client here if we understand that it's coming this other. But something important about the areas that we manage is, first of all, Panama has one of the most important financial structure in the world, like a country. So we manage an area that all the financial area, we manage that area. Second, in Panama we have the headquarters of the multinational companies in the region. So I love this kind of clients. Actually, we have a lot of clients from multinational company. Why? Because are very they have a high educational
Yeah.
preparation,
Yeah.
preparation. They have good income, the stable income, and they are most of them are very correct people. So if you have like an investor or if you have like a tenant, is a very good client. So and it's coming a lot of new multinational companies. People ask me, hey, you are not worried about all this new development that is coming? Actually, no, because
The inventory.
What
to,
is
to
happening right now here as example in Costa del Este
yeah, or
rent?
Santa Maria.
Exactly. There is not available rent for these
No,
clients, and there is a lot. We have a lot
When
of persons
when our clients
waiting
arrive,
for rent in Panama, so
yeah.
they make a really good decision, invest here because you have the certain that you will get a tenant soon.
Exactly.
yeah. Today we have a deficit
Rental.
of rental.
And if we
Impossible.
compare with the towers that are coming, that maybe one is for 300 families, another for 200 families, and you could see and compare the number or the statistics for the people that is coming to move or relocate to Panama, we have not inventory for them.
No,
Exactly.
actually, we are having the word, yeah. A lot of people from US moving to Panama for
Yeah,
retirement.
retirement.
People from Europe for retirement, and actually there is continue coming new multinational company. A new multinational company come with 80 families, 300 families depends, and there is 80 new property that you have to put out of the market or 300 units. So when we see all these new products that is coming, there is a couple of thousand units to this area, but we don't have enough offer for all these people that is coming.
Exactly.
So and when you compare, people say, hey, but you are in Latin America, 4,000, 5,000 per square meter, 6,000 per square meter. You can go and compare some other countries in the world, and we have a very low price for what we are offering. Panama is the cheapest city in Latin America. Of course, not it's not the cheapest. You have some other cities in Latin America that are cheaper, but they don't have the security that we have. They don't have the dollar. They don't have the stability, the political
Government.
government that
stability.
stability that we have had for the last years. So actually, the last two governments were not the best in Panama, but Panama was one of the countries with the biggest growing in the area.
And
also,
I don't know, I don't know
and-
why, but
and-
if you talk with the clients, with investors, with developers, with everyone that is running business in Panama, that last government, I'm not saying I'm favorite for this or that, but the business start to
Yeah, with
move
the
again.
government, it's moving a lot.
It's
This
Yeah.
government, I think, is doing a lot of good things, and I think it's attracting a lot of new capital, new investor. People want to live in Panama. When people discover Panama, say, "Hey, this is an amazing country."
And I do
Yes.
think it's also when you see the world and you see Europe, there's a lot of things happening there. Also, not even like take out the political part, like with the digital era and all that. So Europeans, they say, okay, let's look to America. And then in America, you have a lot of instability in
Where are you moving? In America.
you have a lot of political instability
In many countries.
people that say like I don't want to live in this country, so or I want to get out of the cold.
Yes,
Canada,
exactly. The
like
weather.
snowbirds.
Mhm.
And when you look at the region, and we touch about this in another
Exactly.
of our podcast, and depending on what the neighboring countries offer you, Panama is a great choice.
Yes.
And talking about great choices, yes, some of our clients they choose the pre-construction.
Yes.
But some of them they have another strategy. So they want something that's already built, that's already that they can, get the return right away to see if it's rented, if they buy it. So now we're gonna jump to the resale part of the business. So why so many experienced investors choose the resale? Obviously, there's a time sensitivity, but talk to us about why will an investor choose the resale or maybe combine it, right? But it's also a strategy.
Yeah,
What do you believe, Isaac?
I think is people that, well, there are different answers.
We know your preference options
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
okay. I
just
prefer
one.
pre-construction
Yes.
because we are young. But if you have 80 years old, maybe you don't want to wait 4 years for a property.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
we have
every month
many clients
count.
or many investors like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So we have some investors that need the cash flow because they are
Retire.
retired people, and they live from their retirement, and they need the cash flow to live. For example, we have clients from Argentina that have sold so all the properties there, and they say, hey, I need to live with the cash flow that the property generates. I have a much higher return in Panama than Argentina. That's the reason why I'm buying here, but I cannot wait because I need this to pay all my expenses every month. So this is one of the clients. Second, people that want security. It's not the same when you buy a property. Could be the biggest developer, but some people
Are
prefer
afraid
security.
To,
Something,
feel
something,
something.
yeah, touch.
feel.
Yes,
They need to touch something.
You can go.
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
have
have
It's like
we
private.
have a
perfect
lot
level.
of clients like that.
couple like
too.
this. They are a couple doctors from another country, and they are exactly in that two situations. They are not too young. They are finishing and almost they want to retard, and exactly they said we don't want to wait because each day for us, no matter if it's an investment, we need to feel it, we need to touch it, and I cannot imagine when I go and I see plans and models. I cannot understand and I cannot imagine how it's going to finish. No matter you choose me another tower, the experience for that developer, I need to touch something.
In some
And
case,
that's
they
the
buy
situation.
now for renting, have the income, and after they are their second home for the retired. So
Exactly.
they want to see it, to feel it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, but of course, always the best strategy, at least in Panama, will be the pre-construction. And if you enter in a private sale, the most important about the private sale, when it's a good private sale, and that's the only one that we pick up, we prefer don't have private sale until we have a good one that sell everything. Is because in the private sale you will access to a product that is going to be at the price that probably it won't be on the market. We have a private sale now that increased around, there is the unit that with the lowest increase around 30,000 in a product that is around 200,000, and with the highest increase around 60,000
Yes.
with the product that start in 300,000. So the product will arrive on the market with 15-20% of increasing.
Before.
So if you compare with the value that we start to sell, so how an investor can compete with an investor that entered 20% or 15% lower?
Yes.
So it's impossible.
It will depend on the strategy.
Depend on strategy, but that's the important. That's what I say that is the most important, because if you have to put 20% down payment and the property increase 20%, is
You earn
you are 100% up.
To wrap
Yes.
up,
Of course, it's not the return, because if you sell,
Yes.
you have to pay some expenses, commission, taxes, but at least you're making 60-70%, 80% of your money right now.
Exactly.
So it's very fast how move the private sale, and some people don't understand. When I say to my clients, hey, you have to move fast when it's a new client. The old client, they know that private sale will move very fast, but when it's a new client, I say, hey, I know in the rush, but believe me, we are going to sell very fast.
Yes.
And we can sell in 2 months 40, 50, 60 units of the product. And of course, the price will change. And you see the price,
yes,
how
we
we
know,
change
we
the
know.
prices.
and then to wrap up between the two situations for our investors. Now we know one of the good strategies could be pre-construction. Private sales are the most bigger opportunity for you as an investor. But if we go to the resale options for that client that is more conservative, and they said, no, I don't want to go and take too much risk, what we have to consider or what we can recommend them if they are going to choose, if they don't want to take
The risk, of
the
They
course.
want to
risk
do
of the
resale. What are your tips for them?
pre-construction,
I
which are
think
your best?
my recommendation is,
Yes.
of course, we have to understand what needs the client, because if a client that they say, hey, I want to live at the beach, I want
That's
to I
okay.
want to live in front of the ocean,
If it's
and
an investment,
sorry,
if just the client said I wanted just
for investment, just for
for
investment,
Not living.
it's a mix. Why? Because it's a client, it's an investment, but actually want to
Live
live 6 months of the
Yes.
year because
the weather.
the weather, whatever. You have to understand what they did. But this just for investment. I recommend some areas that, of course, we know: Costa del Este, Santa Maria.
It's going to be important.
Location. Second one, products with high demand.
Exactly.
If you go
Towers. I say towers.
Yes. Yeah, towers with high demand. For example, if you go, there are areas like, for example, Paitilla. No, Paitilla, for example. Paitilla is an area that has high demand of a particular
Market.
market, but for investment, maybe it's not the best. Why? Because most of the towers, there's a couple of towers there that are beautiful, but most of the towers are old. So
Exactly.
people that is going to rent there are going to pay lower ticket when you compare with the price. So a lower rent when you compare with the price, because it's not an area with a really high demand. If you go, for example, to I can make an example. If you buy a property there for 300,000, probably you rent it in 1,400, 1,500 per month, probably, maybe less, depending on the year. But if you buy a property in 300,000 in Coco del Mar, in, for example, Victory, or the region we don't have the
Doble.
price right now, or Doble, you can rent around 2,000. So it's
Depends.
30-40% more of the return. So that's important to understand. Or if you go to Santa Maria, you have a high demand. But always my recommendation is to have a product
that you could see, you could inspect, you can
And-
compare.
location,
High demand.
most newer,
Newer towers.
Newer options.
and high demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have to check, or we can do for you to show you in real time what are all the information that you need to compare.
Yeah, I do think, to like closing remarks will be,
Yes.
I do think what we bring to the table, it's perspective, right? Because it's not the same you coming to Panama saying, okay, I want pre-construction, or maybe I want to look at the resale, but it's understanding what's happening in the market, what's happening specifically in the specific areas that you want to invest.
And also the time.
Yeah,
Because
because
change every year, or you have to.
yeah, and I will put an example in Costa del Este. Yeah, we do have private sales. We know which projects are gonna come that are not still in any private sale at all, but we understand the area and what's coming. We talk to the developers. We understand what's gonna happen. So when you come to us, we can give you that perspective. You are gonna sit at the table, and we're gonna put it there. I always talk with numbers. Like,
Exactly.
numbers never lie, and at the end of the day, that perspective is what's gonna give you the peace of mind that whatever option or decision that you're gonna make it, with the data that's gonna make a great investment of what you want to.
The only way you can make a good investment is comparing. But to compare, you need the most amount of data possible. How can you compare if you are not using all the data? Because it's private. So that's an advantage that we manage.
Exactly.
Because with all this data, if you have until this, but you don't see until this, the people that is watching all the perspective can take better decisions.
Of course.
And that's why what is important to be has a good advice.
To work with us
Advisor.
as advisors.
That's one of the most important things. If you are an investor, we know you're gonna do your homework. You're gonna research a lot. You're usually our clients or investors. Maybe some of them know too much more than advisors or brokers here in the country. But it's very important to definitely choose a good advisor. That's the main thing.
And I think that's the way of the market today. Before, the people that, they didn't know, they didn't have access to information. Now everything's out there. The thing is that too much information can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's not in the context that you want it to be. So I have a lot of clients that have, preconceptions of what Panama is, or they compare small things, as we saw in the other podcast regarding like Panamanian corporation. It's not the same as an LLC, and and I've seen a lot of people comparing it, and it's not. You need to have the knowledge to be able to guide the client to make the right choice. Of course.
Other important um, situation, to call it, is in Panama. Not just in Panama. I have to be honest. In the world, in all business, most of the time show you numbers that are not real.
Exactly.
That's very common. They show you numbers that
And they promise something.
yeah,
that it's not.
I can guarantee you by contract this amount of return. What happened after that? Because it's very easy. You can can charge a difference in the price, and with that you compensate.
Yeah.
You compensate.
Compensation.
You have a compensation of that, and you can guarantee that return. For example, what we have the biggest plans in the two most important platform of secondary market. Encuentra 24 and Compra Orquídea. We have the biggest plan in Panama today. For the last 3 years, we have been with the biggest plan. We have an amount of data, an impressive amount of data. You just understand, the last time I checked the data of one of the platform, during a month, we appear in more than 800,000, actually 880,000 searching. 880,000 searching.
Searching, yeah.
People visit more than 50,000, 53,000 of our units, of our properties in a month.
Yes,
What
it's
in a month?
incredible.
So the amount of data that we manage, actually I can
We
say,
understand
don't manage
people.
any developer in the country. Some developers are very honest, and they are very respectful with the numbers that they are putting there, because they are very serious company. Some others, I can say, that are not serious with the number that they show. That's why, independently of the number that any developer put, that could be the return of the client, in Be Luxe,
We.
we work with our own numbers.
Exactly.
And that's the number that we show to the investor.
client.
And we always work with the very conservative numbers, because we cannot think in a best scenario. We have to always go to a conservative scenario. And if at the end is better, of course, celebrate. But we always prefer to have a very conservative scenario and work with that. So be careful with the number that you see in Panama, not just in Panama, in other countries, US, in Europe, and
In
different
the
countries
world.
in the world, because most of the time are not real, and are numbers that are just designed to show you
To
an
catch you.
amazing
lure you,
opportunity
Yeah.
of sale. But I can say that there are towers that have been launched that are on the market for 7 years, and they are just starting construction
Exactly.
when should be developed
Yeah,
in
already
4 years.
delivered.
Yeah, like
Yeah. So you have to be careful. That's the reason why we are very strict and select
the
the
products that
the product that we are
sell.
going to sell. We are
That's
not
very
involved. We are
important.
not involved in all. For
No.
us, the most important is to have a long term relationship with the client. We are not here for one transaction. We are not here for a commission. We are here because we want to grow the capital of the lifestyle of the our clients. So, what other question?
No,
we
just
think
yes, to like to make a final yes idea to our clients or investors. I want you, each of you, share which is your first option or which is your better option that you recommend or why you recommend any idea for each client that visits us or what you suggest in general to that kind of client that comes to us or come to Panama and they want to take a decision but they really don't understand how is the market and what they have to do that first step to invest in our
Well,
country.
for me, is to understand their goals, do the interview, and I can make today the comparison in resale and pre-constructions and do the way that we can work together to fit with them. That's my first step today.
Perfect, Michael.
It will depend, as Wendy says. If you're looking for long-term appreciation, probably I will recommend pre-construction. If you're looking for something that's gonna bring you like rental income right away, probably resale it's
Exactly.
the way for you. But it will depend. Like if you want to diversify your portfolio, probably I will recommend both.
Both,
And we
exactly.
will need to sit down and understand your time frame and how you want to work it. And I do think that's a lot of our clients. Like some of them come and say like, "Hey, I need to move my patrimony from this country to Panama and I need to do it slowly." And the conversation starts like, where do you want to start first, or what is the best strategy for you to move forward in Panama? And having the advisors around you and not only talking about us, like the right attorney, the right tax
All that
advisor.
really
It's a team.
that is
It's a team
important.
because you need
We
to
are a
be sure that your investment here is not damaging you in another country. So you need to learn how to talk to the client to understand what are their needs, and from there, let's
And
take a
you
plan.
know something important that maybe I don't mention before, that we are a team. It's not only Wendy, it's Isaac or Monica, and we can work together to fit all your goals.
Yeah, we are around 40 people in the
Yes,
company.
exactly.
Isaac.
Well, it's like when you go to the doctor and say I have these symptoms,
Exactly.
and the doctor asks you, "What are you feeling? Why? Since when?" So all this we have to understand the same. What happening with you? What do you need? And with that, we can give you your medicine, or we can recommend you have to go to the gym. You blah blah blah. But I think the most important is to understand what is the goal of the client. And sometimes that's very curious. We have clients that they are not
Clear.
clear
Sure about what they
sure
want, of
about
course.
what they want. So or maybe they are not, or they come thinking about something,
Something,
and when we explain, because they don't know
Exactly.
all, of course, we explain, they say, hey, that's very interesting, maybe I can consider. So the most important for us is we make a lot of questions, because the most we know about you is how we can give you a better advice. So um, sometimes the advice takes 6 months of waiting, because the product that you need we are going to launch in 6 months. Sometimes we have the product ready. Sometimes it's a resale unit that is ready. Sometimes it's very difficult to find a product in some towers,
Yeah.
but I think to understand the client.
Totally. Well, today's that podcast prove us that it's not exactly a universal answer to choose between a pre-construction option or investment or property to buy or the resale option is the best. Definitely, as all of you mentioned, we have to understand very well your goals, which is your vision or for the future, which is your timeline, and well, with our guidance. And we offer you here in Be Luxe Real Estate, all of us, you have a team here, a complete corporation to help you with everything you need to resolve your questions, to understand which is your goal, your focus in that kind of opportunities in a new country. And we're gonna be for sure open to show you or best options that we have in Panama. Then thank you very much to join us with this episode. Please remember, follow us
Our platforms.
in our platforms, Be Luxe Real Estate, and continue with us in all the information that we are trying to share about how to invest, relocate, or move to Panama as a new and amazing country to live. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.